She trying to get ahead. The more I read it, yeah, the more I take offense. I'm so defeated, I can get outside my head.
Hey everybody.
I post a picture of myself cause I'm lonely. Everyone knows what I look like, not even one of them knows me. Yeah, I just wanna drink tequila with my friend. I'm so defeated, I just wanna sit and dance. I'm walking to the club like everybody hates me.
Hello everybody.
I'm walking to the club like everybody hates me.
Just gonna give it a few minutes while we let everybody hop on. For everybody that's joining live, welcome, welcome. This is the top 10 tonight. Top 10 must-have oils. As you hop in, feel free to say where you're joining from. And we'll get started very shortly.
Now I'm face to face with all the voices in my head. I can't even check the time without facing regret. Why do I still have to mean everything I ever said? And now I'm trying to be like for me, I made it. I'm just trying to stay normal now that they.
Maybe this is a better sound choice.
As it came into my head, I knew I would be right. You said I'll come late. When I leave, remember that.
All right.
I'll be back again.
How's everybody doing?
I'll be back again.
Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Always makes it so much easier, right? It's not Monday. I have a special guest with me here on my essential oil parlor today. This is our German exchange student Smilla, and she is very enthusiastic about learning about oil. So she wanted to sit in and join us. So not only do I have an audience here, I have an audience with me. It's fun. Hi, Carrie. Welcome from Nanaimo. I'm on Pitcairn Island. All right, so we just get started. Okay, so as people are joining, just let me know where you're joining in from. So let's talk about the top 10 essential oils. This is a really exciting topic. These top 10 oils are the baseline. They are a fantastic launching point. These oils that I'm going to talk about tonight, there's 6 singles and 4 blends, and they will cover all of your bases. Some of them are good for a few different things, but they are super handy nonetheless. But I wanted to do a little recap about why I have chosen doTERRA. So we know that there's no board that governs the essential oil industry. You would have caught the first video. So if you want to learn more about the basics and like how our sourcing and our testing practices and all that stuff, then be sure to double back and watch number 1. But I want to talk about the doTERRA difference. So unlike other essential oils in the industry, doTERRA is built on a firm foundation of science. So we employ more than 30 scientists, and we boast 2,200 square feet in cutting-edge laboratory space. So doTERRA is committed to science, and we continue to push the boundaries of rigor in essential oil testing. And we are responsible for breakthroughs in sourcing and evolving models of use and state-of-the-art testing practices. doTERRA has pushed the aromatherapy tradition into the 21st century, and we remain unmatched in the industry, and we are leaders in innovation. So you know about our certified pure therapeutic grade. Hi, Lorelai. You know about our certified pure therapeutic grade standard. We created that. It means that all of our state-of-the-art lab uses are using the most advanced testing methods to verify the purity and the potency of its essential oils. Our aromatic compounds are distilled right from the plant material. Each batch is scrutinized and tested to ensure that it meets the CPG standard. And our third-party tester, so I didn't talk a lot about this last time, and I want to talk about it this time. But our third-party tester is the Aromatic Plant Research Center, APRC for short. And it's a trusted source that's been developed for research, development, and authentication of essential oils. So they use state-of-the-art laboratory. They have a state-of-the-art laboratory that utilizes a variety of methods to detect adulteration and confirm the purity, etc., etc. So we have an amazing science panel. So I'm not just pulling this stuff out of the air. This is like science-based stuff. So I just wanted to touch upon that. Talk about a little bit more about how our oils are. So, and if anybody wants to know, I am going to post a link after we're done here on all of the oil safety and application tips. It's a whole module. It's an aromatherapy module, but it has been brought into the 21st century. So a lot of aromatherapists are stuck in the past because there hasn't been any breakthrough or new scientific research or things done with state-of-the-art laboratories, etc., etc. So they're a little stuck behind. doTERRA is leading the way. So let's talk about the oils. Okay. So first things first. I said that the applications of the different essential oils. Hi, Jen. So all of the oils are super versatile. So we're going to talk a little bit more about them. Let's just dive in. So lemon. Oh, so one of the things that I was going to say. Hi everybody that's joining. Hi all you lovelies. Hi gorgeous. Hi girls. So if you have your doTERRA oils, then I highly encourage you go and get them. So I'm going to have you smell and use them, get them to use right as we start talking about them. Also get your pen, get your paper, take some notes because we are going to dive right in here. Okay, so lemon. Let's talk about lemon. Lemon. Let's take the bottle off, the cap off the bottle. Hey, Cassandra, take a big sniff. Smelly, you want a sniff? So this to me is sunshine in a bottle. This oil was the first oil that I could not get enough of. It is an oil that I regularly put in a drop or two into my water bottle and drink because it is so good. And I'm going to talk about why. Okay, let's turn off the music. Okay, so lemon, so delicious. It is one of the ones that really helped me. It helped support me through my moods when I was a new mama for the second time to my second baby. Hi, lovely. And I was in the throes of postpartum depression. So I like to drink this water in my water. It is really cleansing to the body. It is really good for your respiratory system. It helps to clear any kind of mucus and congestion and like runny nose and stuff like this. It helps to aid in digestion. It also is lovely in a spray bottle. Any spray bottle will do. Plastic or glass, I highly recommend, or a high quality plastic. You can get these in your back office if you have a membership with doTERRA. But glass or stainless are also good. And just as a hint, so Glow, this is, I always have citruses in this. It is so good. Okay. All right, so lemon is really uplifting, it's invigorating, it's refreshing. You can use this aromatically, topically, and internally. So one thing I would like to let you know that is citrus oils, with the exception of green mandarin, are photosensitive. So if you apply them to your skin and go out into the sun for 24 hours, it will make your skin sensitive to the sun and open to burning. So lemon is the oil of focus, and one sniff out of the bottle and you'll completely understand why. So we source our lemon essential oil from Sicily in Italy. It is so good. It is a fantastic degreaser for the hood fans and the stove and the things, the ovens. I don't know how many times we've used this for sap when we are cutting, chopping, or stacking wood. Or like handles of outdoor like shovels and things that get leaned against trees, and then the sap runs all over the handle. That's always fun. So it takes that off. It's a really good furniture polish. It's also super supporting for the liver and the kidneys. I really like to use lemon if you have and find any sores in your mouth. You can swish, and it's really good for that. It's also good for hangovers. It's also fantastic to support the immune system. It helps to boost the immune system. It's just so good. And lemon is also good at chelating removing, can't pronounce that word all of a sudden. Hi, Tara. Welcome, girl. It's really good for getting any kind of petrochemicals. It's a really nice, gentle cleanser. Hi, everybody that's joining. When you're joining, just let us know where you're joining from. Send me some hearts, some likes, some hellos. All right, so let's move on to lavender. Lavender is calming, it's regenerating, it's healing, and you can use doTERRA's lavender aromatically, topically, and internally. You can use this oil neat, although I highly encourage you dilute it because it is 100% pure, pure, pure. It is the oil of communication and calm. Lavender in Latin means to wash. And so it's also affectionately referred to in the essential oil industry as the Swiss Army knife, because it has a whole laundry list of all of the things that it will help support. We source our lavender from Bulgaria. Lavender is a natural antihistamine. It is super good for the cardiovascular system. It is good for any kind of like elevated pressure with the circulatory system. So let's take a pause, time out. Me. I am going to speak as compliantly as possible. And so a lot of times when you hear me talking about body systems, you can think about the things that ail you, or where there's a lot of dis-ease in the body that has to do with that body system. So I'm going to try to talk about the oil supporting a body system, just because the big powers that be don't like for people to be healthy. They want you to be sick. And so I'm not a doctor, and so I am not allowed to make claims that this is going to heal or cure or et cetera, et cetera. So if you're like, can you just get on with it and actually say what you mean? That is why I have to talk the way that I'm talking. So elevated pressure with the cardiovascular system. You know what I mean? If Lindsay Lou's watching, she'll know what this means. Love you, girl. Okay, so lavender is really good for the skin. It is good for any kind of burns or scars, any kind of infections, scrapes, cuts, wounds. Lavender is also really nice for any kind of like tension, some head tension, neck and shoulder tension, tensing in the jaw, clenching, and any kind of sleep issues. So I'm also not going to be able to go through every single thing that all of the oils are good for, because we would be here like for 10 years. So I'm just going to kind of like throw out some really common ones, and hopefully it lands and you can kind of get a good understanding of what I'm talking about. Peppermint. Peppermint is, me and peppermint are like in a mad committed relationship. I love peppermint. So take a sniff of your lavender if you didn't. We're going to move on to peppermint. Peppermint is the oil of a buoyant heart. It is so delicious. Peppermint is adaptive, it's refreshing, it's cooling. You can use this oil aromatically, topically, or internally. It's a good driving oil. It's a good layering oil. We source this from the United States, right in our southern neighbors, the Washington State. Washington State. but the variety of peppermint is actually from Germany. So we bring that variety of peppermint plant over to Washington State, and it grows beautifully there. The reason that we do that is because it has the highest chemical constituents that are going to yield a massive amount of therapeutic properties that support our bodies. So it is delicious. It smells like, Smelly, you need some of this? It smells like chocolate, to be honest with you. And I really like to apply it here, third eye, temples. I really, 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 really appreciate that. And then I like it on my shoulders. If I can get it all the way there, through all of my layers. So it's a really good layering oil because it helps to drive the other oils that you are using into the body. Peppermint is really nice for being alert, focus. It's really good for energy. It's good for bad breath. It's also good for elevated temperatures. It's good for women experiencing or who are evolving through the change that women go through around our middle of our age. It's cooling for any kind of sunburns. It's good for the respiratory system, the digestive system. It's good for any kind of like radiation exposure. It's good for the memory. It's good for the brain. Helps to support healthy brain function, neck and head tension. I may have said that already. So let's talk about Melaleuca. Melaleuca, it is in our US market, and in our Canadian market, we call it tea tree. So Melaleuca is really powerful. It's resolving and it's cleansing. You can use this oil aromatically, topically, and internally. doTERRA's only internally. And last week in the first video, we talked about all of the applications. So when I'm talking about aromatic, topical, internal, these are the ways that you can use them. And if you need to circle back around to watch the first video, the basics, then I encourage you to do that. So oregano, aromatically, topically, and internally. I use tea tree internally in the throes of really gnarly viral stuff. So it's also the oil of energetic boundaries. So if you are an empath, this is a really good oil to help you to not take on other people's energies. Hi, everybody that's joining. Feel free to tell us where you're watching from. So Melaleuca's tea tree is a big gun oil. Like when I'm like, we're calling in the big guns, this is one of the oils that I mean. So fun fact, I've learned that fun facts aren't actually in fact fun. But with that in mind, so tea tree has 12 times the antiseptic power of a surgical disinfectant phenol that they often use in surgical sterile surgery and ER rooms. We source our essential oil from Australia. Melaleuca tea tree is so good for viral, bacterial, and fungal. Any kind of infection, it is so good for. So it's good for some really crazy words that I'm not allowed to say that are hard to get rid of, that you can pick up from other people that are highly contagious. Think of like any kind of like ear health and eye health. It's also good for like the bugs that get in the hair. It's good for that. Any kind of like skin issues, acne, rashes, cuts. It's good for anybody who's got that flaking of the scalp. And it's also good for that couple of those issues. One is a skin bug, and the other one creates a circle on the skin. You know what I'm talking about? I wish I could say it, but I can't. Tea tree is also good for helping people who are experiencing shock after a traumatic experience, or the loss, or after any kind of like crazy things, like experiencing firsthand like a death or things like that. So yeah, any kind of like eye things you got going on. So here's a good thing to know about essential oils. Essential oils can't ever go in the eyes, like you don't want to drop it in your eyes. You don't want to put it up your nose or drop it in your ear. We just don't want to do that. You can put the oil diluted around the eye. You can rub it just kind of on the inside of the ear, but you don't want to be dropping it down the ear canal or up the nose. And I think that's good for tea tree. Moving on to oregano. Okay, so oregano. Oregano. He is amazingly strong, resolving, and powerful. You can use this oil aromatically, topically, and internally. It is a hot oil, so you want to dilute this oil. I love to use this oil in cooking as well. Any of my Italian sauces, any of my Mexican sauces, my hot sauce. I love this oil so much. So this is the oil of humility and non-attachment. It packs a really powerful punch. It's a heavy hitter, calling in the big guns. When things start going, when shit goes sideways, this is what you want to be reaching for. You want to dilute this oil if you're going to be applying it topically. I would also apply it to places like the spine, the abdomen, and the bottoms of the feet. If you're going to be applying it over adrenals and soft, sensitive tissues that is effective to apply to, you would want to definitely dilute it. So it's a heavy hitter, and it's helpful against antibiotic resistant bacteria. Also, our oregano is to not be confused with oil of oregano. My mom, I have to get around her to tell her a funny story, the time that she tried our oregano versus her oil of oregano that she was used to trying before we got into doTERRA. Yeah, it's a pretty good story. We source our oregano from Turkey. And if you want to be making your own oil of oregano, which I highly recommend, it's super effective, 1 drop of our oregano essential oil to 1 tablespoon of a really high quality cold pressed olive oil is what you're looking to achieve. So you would only need a few drops for just a small container of oil of oregano. You can take it a little bit stronger than that though, if you want. If you've got something that you really need to get rid of, which is often, pick up things all the time. So oregano is good for all of the throat issues. If you're thinking about things that happen and you can't swallow, and sometimes people have to go to the doctor and get antibiotics, you can gargle with this. You can take it in a gel cap. That's super helpful. You can shoot it with some water. It's good for all of the viral things, all of the bacterial things, and all of the fungal things. It's good for getting rid of those growths that often show up on the bottoms of feet that you might get from a pool. Any kind of like calluses on the hands. It's good for fungal things on the feet. That circle bug that gets in the skin that forms a circle, that one, Candida. And it also helps to boost progesterone. And so a lot of women would likely be familiar with this, that progesterone, it's a hormone that is secreted by the corpus luteum in the ovary. It plays an important role in the menstrual cycle, and it helps, or it is part of maintaining the early stages of pregnancy as well. Its function is mainly to help regulate the condition of the inner lining, the endometrium of the uterus, and progesterone is produced in the ovaries, the placenta, and the adrenal glands. So do with that what you will. Frankincense. Oh, frankincense. You are going to see in our community here some mad love for frankincense, and there's a reason. So lavender is kind of the oil of, or it's the Swiss Army knife. It's kind of the queen. Frankincense is the king. He is the king to our lavender queen. So frankincense is amazing. It's very similar in lavender, only in that it is good for so many things. Oh, I just have to stop and appreciate frankincense for all its glory, in all its glory. So frankincense is really royal. It's enlightening and it's ritualistic. It is good to use aromatically, topically, and internally. He is the oil of truth. Our frankincense is a collection of 4 different varieties of frankincense. We source it from Northern Africa and Egyptian areas, so like Somalia and Oman. Frankincense has been around, and you'll hear it in a lot of ancient religions, in a lot of books. Nearly all ancient religions have used frankincense in their spiritual practices, including the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Romans, the Muslims, the Hindus, and the Buddhists. Frankincense is an exceptional oil. The way that they source frankincense is, it's like this, it almost looks like, well, it's a variety of like a bonsai tree, but it bleeds a resin, like a sap. And so it hangs out on the crazy edge cliffs of the areas in Northern Africa and Egypt and things like that. And the people, the farmers who source it, they go out onto these limbs that are hanging over like crazy cliffs, and they score the tree ever so. There's a specific way to do it. They score the tree, and then the tree starts to bleed. And so then they have to come back a second time after a certain period of time, and they have to then they have to like scoop it up without having it fall to the depths of the canyons below. It is just a remarkable, exceptional oil. Hey, Tricia. So frankincense is an amazing oil for cellular health. And anytime you hear us talking about cellular health, you have to be thinking about all of the trillions of cells that make up our body. Everything, our bones, our blood, everything is made of cells that make up us as humans, of who we are. So a cell, think of how a cell is born, how it lives, and then how it dies. It's a natural progression. It's regenerative. It's regenerative. I'm butchering words tonight. So anytime I'm talking about cellular health, the big C, any kind of growths, things like that, it is super supportive to our cells. So frankincense is also amazing for our brain health. If you can think of any of the diseases that people get to do with their brain, you want to be using frankincense. So I highly encourage frankincense at the base of the skull. You just feel how your skull comes down, and then there's like that little lip, and it's where your skull meets your spine. Right there is a fantastic place to rub essential oils onto the skin and down the spine. It's so good. Any of your lymph node areas, it's highly recommend it. So any kind of like nervous system stuff, frankincense is so good for. Trauma, people that are experiencing any kind of trauma. Frankincense is a really good anti-aging oil. Wrinkles, scars, stretch marks, where all my mom is at. You would all appreciate this oil. I love this oil. Frankincense is in the Virage skincare system. The skincare system has literally changed the way my skin is aging. It's even reversed some of the stuff. Frankincense also supports a healthy immune function, a liver, and your breast tissue. Any kind of breast tissue. Frankincense is also a good oil to be using in any kind of like affirmation, meditation, prayer, and focus work, if you believe in stuff like that. So that is our top, that is our top 6 single oils. I can't believe I breezed through those so fast. Go ahead and start throwing up questions. If you have questions, I'd love to help answer, and I've got amazing Oily Goddesses team members that are in here watching and listening along that are here to, and they can jump in and let you know how they like to use these oils, because that is one of the most beautiful things. All right, so let's move into the blends. We've got 4 blends in our top 10, all rightfully so. And let's start with the respiratory blend. I want to hold on and pause for just one moment though. I want to talk about all of the ways that you can get these oils. So you can get these oils pure and free, straight up essential oil. No adulteration, nothing but steam distilled or cold pressed plant material. You can circle back around to watch video number 1 if you want to read more about that. But they also come in a touch line. So they are going to come diluted for you. So right here it says touch. Can you actually see that? Because it's such a well-used bottle. Maybe not. Can you see that? It says touch. I'm just showing all my cameras. Yeah, it's really difficult to see. It comes in a touch line too. We also have peppermint beadlets, On Guard beadlets, although we haven't talked about On Guard yet. But we have a lot of different applications to make these oils super applicable and usable and good for on the go. They're diluted for you, all of the beautiful stuff. So Breathe, let's talk about Breathe. Breathe is from our US market. It is Easy Air in Canada. You are only going to use this oil aromatically and topically. It is a hot oil. You'll want to dilute it, especially on your babes, on sensitive skin, thinning skin. And this blend is boasting laurel leaf, which is bay leaf. I cook with bay leaf all the time, so it's got laurel leaf. It's got peppermint. It's got cardamom. Cardamom makes this blend like, what? Amazing. Eucalyptus radiata, Ravensara, tea tree, and lemon. This blend is all things respiratory support. Respiratory support. So, hi Alicia. Hey girl, hey. So this blend, it's getting warm in here. This blend, think about all of the respiratory things from the time that the air goes in your nose, in your mouth, down into the lungs, and you're breathing. So think about seasonal support. Think about anybody who suffers with any kind of like respiratory issues. It's good for opening the airways. It's good for like relieving when people are suffering from viral infections, bacterial infections. It's just all the things good for the respiratory system. Let's talk about the digestive blend. Zengest is what we call it in the Canadian market. It is DigestZen in the American market. This also comes in a soft gel. The Easy Air also comes in a lozenge. So, you know, like the ones that you can buy on the store shelves that are full of like not very good stuff. Ours is full of good stuff. And it's healthy for you. It's sweetened with xylitol. There's no artificial sweeteners, sugars, GMOs, soy, etc., etc., etc. So we can get that in a respiratory drop. You can also buy it in like a stick that is free of petroleum. So we have a whole Breathe and Easy Air respiratory line. You can peruse that in the US market in your membership. If you haven't got your membership yet, we'll talk about that in just a moment. So DigestZen also has its own line. So the Terrazyme is part of the DigestZen line. The PB Assist is. We've got soft gels, we've got chewables that you can use for to help calm the esophagus when there's acid building up. So we have a really good line of Digest Zen and ZenGest products. You can also find those from the US market. So ZenGest, it was my gateway oil. It is the oil that made me an essential oil believer. It kind of reminds me a little bit of gripe water, right? When our babes were small, and some still have small babes. This blend has ginger, tarragon, peppermint, fennel, caraway, and anise, star anise. And this is all things digestive. So think about the time when the digestive system starts. The digestive system starts as soon as you, hey Jess, hey babe, as soon as you put something into your mouth and you start to salivate. That is the very beginning stages of your digestive system getting to work. So think about all the times from the time that it comes in to the time that it comes out, and everything in between that you may be having issues with. So think about the intestines, the digestive system, any kind of like upset tummies. It's good for motion sickness and feeling just yucky. You know, when you're traveling and you just feel right. Or sometimes people are more susceptible to that than others. It is just so good. I've even used it with my pup when she was a babe. When she was just a pup, she used to get car sick all the time. So we've used it successfully with her for that. All right, so let's move on to Deep Blue. So I don't know about all of you, but we really like Deep Blue. And this is why. It is our soothing blend. We're only going to use this blend topically, only topically. It depends on who you're applying it to. The ZenGest is a hot oil or a hot blend too, so diluting is a good idea. I'm kind of hardcore, like peppermint, I like it straight on. I like ZenGest straight up on my belly. If I'm feeling sick, it is the fastest thing to make me feel better. I like it. I like the burn. It feels good. It doesn't really burn, but it is warming. Especially if you're new to oils, you might not know what to expect. So that warm tingling sensation might not be for you. I personally love it, and I know that. Throw me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up and some hearts if you guys love the way that the Digest Zen tingles and feels warm and cooling on your tummy when you're feeling when your tummy's upset. So Deep Blue is wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, blue tansy, blue chamomile, helichrysum, and osmanthus. This is all things soothing. Yeah, send me some hearts if you're all about the Digest Zen or the ZenGest. Hey Lori, hey babe. So I love Deep Blue for all the things soothing. When you hear us talking about soothing in the essential oil world, soothing means, so just like frankincense and cellular support, when we're talking about Deep Blue or oils that are soothing, we're talking about pain, straight up. I'm just going to say it. So soothing, the Deep Blue Soothing Blend is good for any kind of old injuries, new injuries. It's good for before working out, after working out. I kind of like it as like my warm-up tool. Don't tell Trina. She's my personal trainer girl. Don't tell her. But she's probably watching. But I like to put this on my muscles before I work out because it just helps. It just helps, and it's good before and it's good after. So my dad has found super good success with Deep Blue for his arthritis. He has psoriatic arthritis. It's also good for rheumatoid arthritis. You can get Deep Blue in a polyphenol supplement. It has got the curcumins in it and all of the really beautiful anti-inflammatory whole food bioavailable stuff, so you can take that internally. Not this oil though, not this. You're gonna only put this on topically. So Deep Blue also comes in the Home Essentials kit in a 5 ml like this. It's the only 5 ml in the Home Essentials kit. All the rest are 15 ml. Talk about that in just a second, maybe remind me. I'll just say it right now. The 15 ml bottles have 250 drops in them, depending on the viscosity of the oil. And the 5 mls have about 85 drops in them. And so we're only ever using a drop per dose. And when we break it down, it's always pennies per dose. We always start small, start with 1, maybe 2. Sometimes 2 squeaks out. You're okay. That's a-okay. But you always start small. And if you want or need to use more from there, then go ahead and get on with your bad self, because that's exactly what you need. Follow your intuition. You are in control here, and that's the beauty of essential oils, that we're here to help and guide you. But it feels good to help people feel empowered and to be empowered with these tools. Hey, Kristen. Okay, so any kind of like soothing blend, Deep Blue. So it also comes in a 10 ml, straight up undiluted, like the 5 ml, but then it also comes in a touch, Deep Blue Touch, and you can also get little 2 ml packets. 10 packets come in the little box. They're over there, but that's okay. They're good on the go. The little packets, they're good for gym bags, ball bags, any kind of sports things. They're good to share with your friends. So the soothing blend is really great for that. Head tension, bruises, any kind of inflammation and swelling. I love Deep Blue for that. Just any kind of like crick in your neck, you know, if you sleep wrong, or if you, all the reasons that you get all kinked up, right? Never used to happen when we were kids, but now it happens all the time. Let's talk about the very last blend tonight, which is the On Guard Protective Blend. You can use this oil aromatically, topically, and internally. Again, it is a hot oil. You want to dilute, although I like the burn, but it's up to you. The cinnamon can be quite overwhelming to the skin for babes, sensitive, thin skin, or older skin. This blend boasts wild orange, clove, our oil of the month, product of the month, free product of the month, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. The protective blend is for the immune system. It's good as a topical disinfectant. It's all things cleansing. I use it, it's all I use for cleaning in our cleansing On Guard cleaning concentrate. It's good for any kind of viral things, bacteria and mold. I love this sprayed in my window cleaners because it helps to keep the condensation from turning into mold. I love On Guard. I diffuse it every single day, usually once in the morning or once in the afternoon after school when all the kids come in off the bus. On Guard, also we have a whole line of On Guard products, everything from little beadlets to the On Guard protecting throat drops. These are just like a lozenge, like the Breathe lozenges. You can get these from the American market. On Guard, we also have a soft gel. They are a must this time of year. At the first sign of a little or a sniffle, you can start spraying that into like with a throat spray, or you can start taking the soft gel. And if you want to like really make it just not even evolve into anything, then you can take it with oregano, a drop of oregano, drop of frankincense, a drop of copaiba, although I haven't even touched on copaiba because we're just sticking to the top 10. Although copaiba, it's a gooder, it's a great one. So those were all the things for the top, it's not all the things, that was the tip of the iceberg for all the things of the top 10 essential oils. One last thing was these little nose inhaler respiratory things. The black is kind of hard to see, but I put it together with the pink. So I have Easy Air Breathe in here. It's so good. There's a little wick inside. I just filled it up with, put the drops on it, and it works so good. All right, so let's see. Do we have, hello, tell us where you're joining from. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Okay, so shoot your questions. What do you got? I want to hear what you have. Sorry for my Zoomers on Zoom conference, video conference, but I want to see who has, I need that for sure. Absolutely, Cindy. I'm not sure where'd you get that little sniffer? I got these from Voyager Candle and Soap out of Surrey. You can order them online. You can get together with your gals in your area. I know we've got some Penticton people in the house. We've got some Salt Spring people in the house. We've got Nanaimo. We've got some Northern BC and Smithers. So you can go together and go on a group buy. Yes, Cindy. That's also what we were going to talk about. Thank you. I gotta sit here all day and do this. You're not watching this live for that. So Voyager Candle and Soap, you can get them in bulk. I believe they come in 10s or 20s. They're super inexpensive. You can get different colors. There's black, there's white, there's blue, there's pink. I got black and pink because I thought that was fun. You can also get them from myessentialbusiness.com. And you might be able to get them from New Direction too, but that's from out east. Both at myessentialbusiness.com and New Direction.com has all kinds of different like raw materials and oil tools like roller balls that you can buy and get some purple roller bottles and things like that. Just a word to the wise too, that when you get started, if there's anybody joining us that hasn't gotten started with their essential oils yet, number one, you will get a free resource book by hosting a class. So all of the information that we talked about tonight, going through all of those top 10, I got them right from this handy book. So you can see that here is coriander. You can see just right there all of the amazing, beautiful things about coriander. So I pulled all of this information tonight, one from my personal experiences and two from the Essential Life book. You can also get the Modern Essentials book for free. Just link up with your oily goddess, and it is an amazing book. It is exactly what you need in the middle of the night when things go sideways and you're like, what do I do for this? It's got everything A to Z in it. It is so handy. So link up with your oily goddess, host a class, get it for free. But when you also enroll, all of the oily goddesses on our team, we want you to be well equipped. We want you to have the tools that are going to help you apply your essential oils to your lifestyle, to your babes, to the husbands, to yourself. We want to make your oils tangible and accessible. So a lot of times when you get started with essential oils, you'll get a little goodie bag with some roller balls, with some spray balls, with some samples of the deep blue packets or the toothpaste. And I give away some of these and little toppers for the fractionated coconut oil because you want to be using a carrier oil. For those hot oils that we were talking about tonight, you can get these right in your back office, and you can get a lot of these tools in your back office too. That's just a fancy word for saying your membership with doTERRA. So let's talk about that for a second. So anybody who gets started in November with a qualifying order, which is any of the enrollment kits that are bundled and they pack a massive amount of savings, you're going to get $50 in free stuff in November just for starting. And then you host a class, you get the book for free, and you sign up and you get some tools for free. So November is an amazing time to get started with your essential oils, especially now that the seasons have changed and the sickness is like creeping its way in. So many people are sick around me, and I swear to goodness, it is because they don't have the proper tools. So you want to get that stuff this month while you can get maximize all of the free goodies. Okay, so we had some questions. Was there any questions about getting started? We'll also post the link to getting started. You just fill out the form. It's a Google form. And the reason that we do it that way, you can either link up with the girl with your oily goddess that invited you here, that has introduced you to doTERRA and this group. You can link up with her and she will get you her link so that you can get started. Or you can fill out the Google Doc. And in that Google Doc, it's going to ask you who got you started, and then that is going to be sent to your oily goddess. So if Jessica got you started, or Karen, or Jen, or Carrie, or any of the lovelies that are joining us tonight, they will get your information. So we'll post the link here too in the comments when we're done. Okay, going too fast. Okay, hey. Okay, excuse me over here on Zoom while I'm all up in this business. Will this be archived to watch for later? Absolutely, good question. All of the Facebook Lives are archived. You've heard me talking to the Zoom as well. Zoom video conferencing, so when we're done with this, it ends, and then I upload it to YouTube. And so that's why I want to stay compliant, because they're public videos, and then you're able to share them privately with people who you were talking about essential oils with. Essential oils are a hot thing, and so I want to make it super accessible for everybody. Hey, everybody that's joining. Frankincense, girl, you need some frankincense. I'm not even sure why you feel like you need it, but I'm just going to tell you that everybody should be using frankincense on the daily. Everybody, preventatively. So that's another thing too I really love about essential oils, is that they are helping us build a super strong foundation. We here at the Essential Oil Parlor, we teach preventative measures instead of reactive measures. It's so much easier to live in a preventative state, to be ahead of everything, than to be in the throes and trying to catch up and be reactive. It's an awful way to live. It's miserable. Okay, so Karen shares that she uses Breathe Easy Air every single night, and it helps with her snoring. That is absolutely right. Hey, Alicia, hey. Jessica shares that Digestin is her favoriteest oil, right? Hey, Jess. Hey, Kristen. Elfrida, hello, girlfriend. Hey, babe. Cindy says that she needs that for sure. Cindy, were you talking about the nasal inhaler or frankincense or anything else? If you need a carrier oil, always with the Breathe Easy Air. For young and sensitive skin, yes, I would encourage a carrier oil for the respiratory, because it can be really, so this is good. Okay, let me get my thoughts. It can be too hot for our babes, you know, like 6 and under, they might not love it. If you've ever used the alternative that you can buy in the store that's full of petroleum, or that's in a petroleum base, you can put this in a carrier oil and put it on the back. You're just going to want to heavily dilute. Sometimes I use a dish like this, just a glass canning jar. You can get them in these bigger, like salmon jars, if you will, or these smaller jars. And this in here is essential oil and dandelions and things infused in olive oil, but I like virgin coconut oil, and I just take like a big dollop of virgin coconut oil and then just 2 drops of the Breathe and the Easy Air, and then you can apply it to their back, their chest, bottoms of the feet. That is a really, really good, covering the camera. Sorry, I missed you. You don't always need a carrier oil for babes. For 6 and under, I would highly encourage a carrier oil. For me, like I said earlier, like I like Digestin straight. I like Breathe and Easier straight. Although for my husband, he does need a carrier oil. There's an oil in the blend that just seems to irritate his skin a little bit, but when we dilute it, it doesn't seem to happen. Good question. Where did you get that little sniffer? Answer that. All right, Cindy, absolutely link up with Veronica. She is a good gal, and she will absolutely help you and get you all the support you need. Hi, Kaylee. Hey, love. How's baby A feeling? It is a very nice book. Tamara, girl, the nasal inhaler. Yes. Hi, Camilla. Hey, babe. Any more questions? I'm going to lose Instagram in just a couple minutes because it gives you like a 60-minute max. But that's basically it. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. It feels nice to have other people join me, to not be alone talking to myself and Smilla. But we are, there's Smills. It's our lovely girl from Germany. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I am a host mother. We've been international homestay parents for almost 6 years, 5 years for sure. And we love it. The kids that we get are amazing. Most of them. Most of them are amazing. Smell is amazing. Yeah, so next week, what are we talking next week? Next week we are talking healthy family. So we're going to dive a little bit more into supplements and all of the oils that we can use specifically for our babies and our babes and our big babes and our husbands, they're big babes, and us. So thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I love this. Love it so much. And good for you for showing up and taking control and being empowered for yourself. Love you guys. See you in the group. Keep the comments coming if questions come up. This stays forever. Bye. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kristen.